time to start the show. Off the top rope, 4-figure leg lock. Ric Flair with the chest chop. Haters wonder why I never tap out. A young king like DeMarcus. Undertaker with a coffin. Choke slam so often. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Man, the boy keep flossing.
Welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Things. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Wrestling with Things. And like the Facebook page at Wrestling with Things for all those good episodes and all that great stuff on the sports and entertainment world. David Joseph joined by Eleno Cuevas and Sammy Joseph. Guys, we got to talk about our guy. Well, he's some of our guys. Melo, it's basically guaranteed that he's going to the Rockets for the veterans minimum. And a lot of people are saying that the Rockets are going to fall off drastically. I'm not one of those people. I think people like to overreact before seeing the bigger picture. But I'm going to start with you, E. The Chris Paul savant that you are. Let me know how you think this team will function next season.
Now, honestly, I still see them winning 60 games.
That's a different one.
They're still gonna win 60 games. They added an offensive piece that he's gonna gel in with Chris Paul and James Harden. I don't care what any people had questions when Chris Paul and James Harden got together. Who's gonna control the ball more, this and that. Yeah. I'm telling you, Chris Paul, Carmelo, James Harden they all got close relationships. Chris Paul and Melo especially, and him and being close to your point guard, the person who's the coach in the game. It's a great feeling. I'm telling you, you're gonna get a lot of looks. He's gonna feel more comfortable there. But besides that, the additions besides Melo that they added, Michael Carter Williams, he's gonna be able to take a lot of pressure. Good defender. He's not a great shooter, but he's a great defender. Yeah. He can take it to the hole.
And he's an additional ball handler when they're getting tired and you need.
Especially Chris Paul, he just went with his hamstring. He just had trouble with that, so you want to get him off the court a little bit, especially during the regular season, so that way you can save him for the playoffs. They added James Ennis, who's another great defender that people are sleeping.
He's good. They're gonna learn.
James Ennis. You guys are going to learn who he is this year, I promise you. Even if you didn't learn who he was last year, this year you guys are going to learn. He's a good defender. He's a good wing player. 3-and-D guy. I'm telling you, we re-signed Joe. They re-signed Joe Green.
I think
we re-signed Clint Capella.
That was big. You had
PJ Tucker's still there.
PJ Tucker's still the best defender with Chris Paul.
Man, listen, 60 games.
60 games.
Book it.
Sammy, what you got? What do you expect the Rockets to be like?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with Orlando, man. I really don't see any difference on how the season's going to go. It's really just going to be them first seed, Warriors and cruise control.
First seed?
Yeah, first seed.
They were first seed last year.
They were first seed last year, and now they just upgraded with Melo.
I'm
taking Melo over Trevor Ariza any day of the week.
Sure.
Any day of the week.
I know Warriors got Cousins, but he's going to be out.
I'm not worried about Cousins.
No. I don't see how any difference on how it's going to go. I see them first seed. They're going to win most of the games, and then come playoff time, they're just going to lose Western Conference. That's how I book it.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
That's how I
you know what?
I see them going all the way.
You know what? I agree with you completely. You hear everybody like, Mba Muta and Trevor Ariza was a big loss defensively. Those guys are great defenders, but they were non-factors in the playoffs mostly. Especially Mba Muta. He came back in the second round from that shoulder injury, and he did nothing the rest of the playoffs.
Even his defense wasn't good.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you're really not missing anything. Melo, I agree 1,000%. When Melo's presence on the loan just strikes fear into his opponent because he's still an offensive weapon. He's still a mid-range scorer, which gives them more of a mid-range game. Come on, realistically, can you think of, besides LaMarcus Aldridge maybe, can you think of two better mid-range shooters than Chris Paul and Melo? When they need missing threes, they can move in close from 12 feet and make it all day.
And people are like, Melo last year. Look at this. If you look at this, it's a different scenario. Let's compare the difference. Let's compare the two stars that he was with last year with who's going to be with this year.
Selfish.
Right. So James Harden, Paul George, both prolific scorers.
Fake star.
One MVP, one fake star,
and
like
one
you said. And I love Paul George, but he is not a superstar.
5 points in playoffs.
He is not
cutting it.
That's not cutting it. There's a difference between James Harden and Paul George.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook, yes, he's more explosive. He's more athletic. he scores a lot more than Chris Paul. He's a lot younger, but
he don't got the vision.
He doesn't have the IQ that Chris Paul has, the leadership in that dog. He has the dog, but he doesn't have that dog.
He has the dog for himself, but he doesn't get everybody else.
Chris
Paul has everybody.
Chris Paul will never in a dream take 40 shots.
Ever. And then I seen a reporter saying that Chris Paul needs to take a good 15, 16 shots a game. I'm like, do they watch Chris Paul? He takes a solid 10 or 12 and he's fine.
Yeah, because he's so damn efficient.
It's going to be completely different with Melo.
Yeah, I think Melo makes their offense a little easier because when Chris Paul and James weren't on the floor, they had no offensive creator.
I didn't even mention Eric Gordon.
I didn't even mention
former six-man champion.
I didn't even mention him.
Let me before we wrap it up. I think they could. Everybody's talking about, oh, is he going to start? Is he going to accept the bench role? I think they could stagger the minutes and keep Melo starting, but keep him playing with the second unit. You see what I'm saying? No, of course. But rest him at the end of the first, and then bring him in the second with Eric Gordon.
Don't give him
they should stagger
35 minutes.
Yeah, do him.
Stagger it.
They should do him how Brad Stevens does Jason Tatum. He starts Jason Tatum, then he takes him out first. That way, Jason Tatum gets more minutes with the bench.
That's what I mean.
He scores a lot of his points. He gets comfortable with the bench, and he kills everybody.
Because he's gonna kill the second unit.
He's killing the second unit. So they start Melo, take him off around like the 6-5 minute mark. Boom. You have James Ennis come in or whatever, PJ Tucker. And then there you go, and have them play with the second unit in the second quarter.
I think that's the best way to utilize them, and they're good.
Yeah. They're good.
It definitely
but I will say, I do think they'll win a little less, maybe 58, 59 games. 60. I don't really see 65, 60.
I see 60 because now they have the better player with
them. They did get a little. They took a little step back defensively, but I do think they're still going to be a top two. They're top two team.
Even if you look at Ariza and Melo from last year, you went from what? 11, 10 points to 16 points.
Even Melo on his worst night.
And that 16 is definitely going to go up a little.
16 points, 6 rebounds. I'd take that.
That 16 could definitely.
I don't want the 40% shooting, but I don't want the 40%.
Nah,
that's not with Chris Paul. That's not like that's not happening.
No, that's not.
I can't wait. I just can't wait.
I'm excited, man.
You could be excited. The Warriors are still here.
Hashtag Melo is not done. If you think Melo is not done, feel free to let us know in the comment section. And keep up with all our content while subscribing to our YouTube channel at Wrestling with Things.